Hello, my nuggets, how is it going? And welcome to episode 3 of Factions, Tips, and Tricks. Today, what I'm going to be sharing with you is all the knowledge I know of finding raids. And I like to say that this is my strong point, this is the point, this is the place, this is what I enjoy the most. It's not the raiding. It's not the raiding I enjoy the most. I enjoy the finding raids. When you find a raid, especially unclaimed raids, faction raids, you know, when you just do FMAP and it's not that satisfying, but unclaimed raids, I love it. I absolutely love it. I've been doing it for ages. It's what I've enjoyed. I feel like a complete detective when I'm doing it, and I'm going to share all the knowledge I know. So guys, next episode will be about making your proper claimed base. But when I say proper, pretty much a starter base. If you're by yourself, you're not going to be really building a big, massive base like you would like, you know, other big factions, like kind of bases that would hopefully sustain you for a little bit of time before you maybe find like a actual proper faction to join, or you start recruiting loads of members into your faction. But anyway, today is all about base finding. If you guys want next episode, slap that like button, and we will get the next episode out tomorrow if we smash 2,000 likes in this episode. But anyway, so last episode I spoke about money, I spoke about making a melon farm and all that kind of jazz, and trying to save up for like your first spawner. And obviously once you've done that, you might want to do something different for a change, because obviously just grinding that money isn't fun. You might want to spice it up, do some other stuff. And personally, what I like to do, and what I'm pretty sure what everyone likes to do, is to find raids. Because one, it's not just something fun to do, it's also money. You can make money from it, because obviously you're raiding someone else's stuff and you don't care about that stuff, so you can just sell it, keep it for yourself, or whatever. You probably get some spawners out of it, which will save you a lot, and I mean a lot of money. Okay, so if you want to search for raids, the first thing you need to do is you need to get prepared. If you're just after grinding a lot of money like I was just there, you're going to need to get prepared for raids. So obviously you're not going to want everything. You want to store everything at home. To be honest, there's some stuff that you're going to want to take. Now usually I don't always take these, but when I'm in the mood to, when I'm properly in the mood to search for bases, I will do this stuff. Now, not every single time I will run out with all the supplies I need or anything I might need. Sometimes I just run out and I forget stuff because I just want to cheekily have a quick search. But if you're doing it properly, what are you going to want to do? Obviously, if you have like a Fortune 1 pickaxe, or you have something valuable, PvE that stuff, you're not going to be taking that stuff. All you need is armor, get a sword, and stuff like that. So you pretty much want to make sure maybe have like a water bucket on you. Might just save your life. It might, if you're ever stuck, you can just swim up and stuff like that. It just a water bucket come in really, really handy. You know, you're going to want a pickaxe and a sword and stuff. Nothing crazy. Some food, of course, which shouldn't be too hard because you have a melon farm. So you should be fine with that. Now, this is the thing. If you're still kind of making money and stuff, you shouldn't... Well, you can do this if you want, but, you know, it'd be a waste of money. So what I would usually do is I would fill my inventory up with speed pots. Speed pots. I love speed pots. But if you're starting out, you don't really want to do that. It's just a waste of money, you know. Okay, right, yeah, you'll be a bit faster, but it's not worth the money unless... Well, it is worth the money if you find a raid, but, you know, with searching for raids, you might not find a raid. So anyway, say we're prepared to go out. We've got an axe, we've got a water bucket, and we've got some torches, because if you're a non-donator, you won't have night vision, so torches might come in super, super handy. So like I touched on first episode, this is the sweet spot. This is the best place. It's not the safest place, but it's the best place where you can build your base, because obviously everyone is at the border. For some reason, everyone thinks the safest place is to be at the border, but it's not. Have probably each claimed a corner by the side, and there is probably in each corner there's probably a massive base being built right now, so you don't want to go anywhere near them because they'll probably slaughter you, because these are factions. You're talking about big massive factions here. But for some reason at the start of the map, what everyone loves to do is they like to live out at the border in between this kind of area, which obviously makes no sense, but it's just logical. People just think, oh, it's the furthest place out, it's the safest, but it's not. It's where everyone wants to be. So that's why I asked you to live in here. So if you guys want an easy method of searching for bases, head out to the border and get to the edge of it and run along it. Now, these tips are for the start of the map. You know, you're searching for bases. People will be living in unclaimed bases. Not everyone will be living in claimed bases. As the map goes on, it'll be claimed bases. And the best thing you're going to do is want to probably turn on FMAP and FMAP on. Now, guys, I'll speak about FMAP, but there isn't really much to share on that because literally just FMAP on. And that's pretty much it. So, obviously, if you do /FMAP on, pretty much it will auto update as you kind of fly along. It's a good way for finding bases. You guys should know that by now, at least. If you're new to factions, then yeah, FMAP on. It will show you claims, and it's easy to use. But right now, we're starting at the start. It's a fresh map. Pretend it's a fresh map. So we're looking for unclaimed bases. That's what I'm trying to show you for quick, easy cash raids, pretty much. So here we are, at the edge of the border. Now, this ain't a fresh map, so you probably will find bases like this, but a lot of people will be building unclaimed bases. Not everyone. People might watch this show and obviously might not build close to the border, but some people might not, so they might do. So what you want to do is you pretty much want to walk along the edge, and this is the best thing to do. So walk along the edge, and say for example you're walking along. Now these areas shouldn't be grouped as much as they are now, but say for example you find, just say like this, you find sand placed down like this, and you find like someone's crossed over. Now if I saw this, let's just say this for example, if I saw sand placed down there and then someone's crossed over. So I forgot to say that this first tactic is pretty much about clues. Everything about clues. I'm not going to go into the NT tactic and stuff like that right now, but you can combine these kind of all together. Now the first tactic is all about clues, and I usually am like a hawk when it comes to this kind of stuff. I love looking out for clues and stuff like that. And it just depends if you can pick up on the right clues. Now, for example, when I made the last few episodes, when I stressed that do not grief above your base, like do not like mine random bits of wood, because it makes it look like someone's living here. But if you find stuff like this, maybe it's worth a shot, but just digging down. Just dig down, set your hole maybe up top here, dig down. If you don't find anything, you don't find anything, come back up and keep running. Now, obviously, okay, right, let's just take this in, for example. So you see cobblestone placed down here in a big, massive line. Now, obviously, I would search it. I would dig down, just to be safe. You know, there's no harm in doing it, because you never know what you could find. But you can see here that there's cobblestone here, there's cobblestone here, there's cobblestone here. So if you really think about it, now, I didn't place this down now. So really think, it looks like the person has either, like, obviously, the person has ran, well, actually, okay, right, there is, yeah, okay, there is a bit of cobblestone here. So the person has ran in this direction, and obviously just place down bits of random cobblestone as we go. But there's an end here. Is there more cobblestone? Ah, look, see, there's more cobblestone here. So as you can see, like, so if I saw this, I'll be like, okay, right, this isn't someone living here. This is someone who's ran across the area, obviously swam across here, placed a block here to get up and ran up. It's all about clues. For example, like there's cell head signs here. If I saw this at the start of the map, I'd be like, okay, someone's living around here. Someone's doing maybe something around here. So I would just dig down underneath the signs and see if there's something. You'll be surprised at the amount of people that actually leave stuff on the surface of the base, and it's literally just a dead giveaway. It is a complete dead giveaway, and when you find a base, you feel like such a detective. It feels really great. Now, moving on to the next tactic, which you can now combine with the last tactic I just showed you. Now, the last tactic is pretty much common sense, but a lot of people just kind of forget about it. I'm not sure why, but from what I've seen, a lot of people just forget about it. So the next tactic, and everyone probably knows about this tactic, is the entity tactic. Now, I think I was one of the original people to actually discover this tactic. I didn't, like, actually, I don't say it, no, I didn't discover it. I got it out there, if that makes sense, because I remember, I think it was Raven who was telling me about, like, this cool thing. Was it Raven, or is it, no, I think it was a mad beggar who was telling me about this awesome tactic, or awesome thing that maybe could, like, you could find bases with, and I tried it, and I actually found a base with it. Now, if you don't know what entities are mobs, items that are dropped on the floor, item frames, all that kind of jazz. Even players can be entities. Now, this is the thing that you'll be looking at. This E thing, see how it says 0 out of 1? Now, from my knowledge of the way it works, if I drop an entity, as you can see, it goes up to 2. But the reason why it says /1 is it because I'm looking at the entity. If I pick this up, if I hide this, or if I do /1 and I look away, I'm not looking at the entity, so it's like 1. So I'm looking at 0 entities, but if I turn around, I'm looking at 1 entity. As you know, if you guys don't know why this tactic would be useful, because everyone who has a base, they obviously have mob grinders, and obviously mob grinders are animals. So if I go spawn, but that's why this tactic is really OP, because at the start of the map, a lot of people are literally just grinding out mobs, so entities will be fluctuating like crazy. Now, if you won't usually find 11 entities most of the time. Usually be like about 4 or 5 would be certainly a base. So what you can do, you can combine the both tactics I just shared with you just a second ago at the start of the map, and you at least should find one raid. At least. Combine both tactics together. So you have F3 opened, just be running along. By the way, be listening to some music, definitely worth it. And then wait till your entity bar goes like this, and you're like, holy smokes, there's actually a base here. If there's entities here, like that many entities, that is definitely a base. And obviously dig down. If you don't find a base, like if there is, like, say 11 entities here, or 5 or 6, there's definitely something there. There's something there that's hiding around. So if you dig down, Now, obviously, this is only for a chunk. So if I go out the chunk, these entities will disappear. So if you're running around and then you mine too far and the entities disappear like that, that means that obviously you're going way too far from the base. So if you run back, the entities should reappear. So if you dig down and you don't find anything, come back up to the surface, dig down at another random spot. Then if you don't find anything again, come back up, dig around at another random spot. See, what a lot of people do is that they dig down to bedrock, and if they don't find anything there, they dig around at bedrock, and then they would, if they don't find anything there, they'd be like, okay, there is no base there. But guys, people build bases at different levels. So for example, if you're only searching at bedrock, you know, you're probably gonna miss the base. But if you keep coming back up and digging down at random spots, your chance of hitting it are a lot higher than just digging at bedrock, because chances are at bedrock, it might not be a bedrock. So pretty much combine both tactics together. For example, if you see these random cobblestone blocks and you see entities, you can be like, okay, something's definitely here. If you see these random cobblestone blocks and there's no entities, then maybe nothing is here. But it could be worth a chance of digging down and seeing if something's there, because if no one's in the base down below, there might not be any entities spawning. You might be too far away for the mob spawners to spawn, which would be no entities. So it's definitely worth checking out. And 111 entities just spawned there. Wow. And you should at least find one base at the start of the map, because, like, the map is, like, hustling. Like, there's so much life. Everyone's building. Everyone has bases. Everyone's starting out. It's when the server is most busiest. So anyway, guys, that's the entity tactic. And we'll move on to other tactics. But just to let you know, this is the best. Okay, so the next tactic is looking for sky bases in sand biomes. Now, sand bases are very popular with sand biomes because it kind of protects a bit more against minimap. And even some of the best minimaps, even the ones that make it really, really obvious, it's kind of still hard to see them in sand biomes. They can be a bit camouflaged. So people like to build sky bases in sand biomes. So the best way to find bases in sand biomes is to do everything manually, pretty much. So for this tactic, you're going to need a lot of blocks. I mean, a lot of. Probably best thing to do is go to the nether, get netherrack, because it takes you like 2 seconds to get loads and loads of stacks of it, and then start away. So what you want to do is you kind of want to follow the outline of the biome. So you just want to go this way, you want to go that way, and then when you get to the edges of it, maybe just go around it. Depends how much you thoroughly want to search it. But like, I've done this a few times, and I've actually found a few bases. But what you want to do is you just want to just literally scout out and just keep looking about and stuff. There is no, I didn't put any base down to show you, but like bases, you should just go to the sky limit as much as possible, so then if a base does appear, you can definitely see it. And you just want to tower around. Now obviously, if you keep going, like say this direction, and you can see that there's grass there, you don't really need to go out onto the grass biome. Just stay in the sand biome, because people don't really like to build there. I can tell you that this tactic was pretty good. I don't know if it still is. I haven't done it in a while, but obviously at the start of the map, people are building all types of bases, because everyone's rich, everyone's not rich. You know, it's just that everyone's building all sorts of bases. So it's a pretty good tactic, and I might actually find you a cheeky sky base, because I think sky bases are like one of the most popular unclaimed bases. So people do love sand biomes. And another pro tip to if you really want to find bases, like for this tip, if you really want to find like if there is a base here fast, the best thing to do is pretty much get a lot of people, or just even how many members that you can get that you know, and just build a big massive tower going as far as to the end of the other side of the desert biome, and then pretty much just go this kind of way. Just kind of then like, someone goes out there, another person might go that way, and then so on, so on, so on, so on. So it's just the best way to search it. And yeah, this tactic's pretty good. And if there is a sky base hiding in the desert biome and you're doing this, you'll find it, for sure. By the way, another little... So that was that tactic, and just another cheeky tactic that I'm going to explain really quickly. I can't really show it in a sense, but it's, I don't know, you guys can think of it your own way. Like, I've had the choice to do it before, but I just kind of didn't, because I was talking to the guy in the chat, so I didn't want to do it. But here's a juicy one, and I don't think people really think about it sometimes, but if you go onto YouTube Gaming, or if you go onto Twitch, sometimes if you look through, like, the Minecraft section, if you scroll down and you look, you might find people actually streaming on the server, or one of the servers, or whatever server you play on, and most of the time they don't have a proper setup, so they actually kind of show their chords a lot by mistake because they're live streaming. So that's another really simple way to find a base, but it's if you want to do it. The only thing I can say, if you're going to do that, make sure you don't start chatting to the guy and stuff like that, because don't become friends with him, because otherwise you won't want to raid him, unless I have a heart, so unless you don't, then fair enough. But I was once chatting to a person. I was like, just randomly found the guy's video or the live stream, and I was just chatting to him, and he was kind of like, oh my god, it's actually you and stuff, and I was like, yeah. And he kept accidentally showing his chords, not on purpose, just actually, he didn't obviously realize, he kind of forgot he was streaming, and he kept kind of showing his chords, and I could have raided him, and I kind of wanted to, but I just didn't. But that's another cheeky way, and it's pretty smart, not gonna lie, it's a smart way. And by also typing in Psycho PvP videos on YouTube and stuff like that, you might find like smaller YouTubers making bases and stuff. They might accidentally show up the chords, all sorts of stuff. Like, there's little crafty ways you can do there. And the last really tip I can really give to you is Map Writer, or it's the mini map that I use. Now, when you're searching for bases, you really should be using minimap. Just have it on. It's also very handy for when you're raiding actual proper cannoning bases, because you can check how many walls you are away and stuff like that, and it's really handy. Now, the only reason why I don't have it on right now is because I actually don't use it on this computer. I actually don't use it on my main computer, believe it or not. When I search for raids, most of the time it's on my laptop, just chillaxing in bed. That is the lazy way to do it, and that's probably why I enjoy doing it. Because I just, like, whenever I'm bored, I just open up laptop, I just open up the Razor Blade, and I just run about and search for raids. So I don't actually have it on this one, but I really should get it because it actually is really handy. But I don't like to have too much clutter and interface going on when I'm recording. Like, that's why I don't exactly have, like, the armor HUD and stuff like that. But minimap, and I use the Map Writer too. I use that minimap, and it's the best minimap. It's the best that you can see. That's the best one to see sky bases for sure. So I would really recommend using that. And that's pretty much it for this episode. I really hope you guys are enjoying, like, this faction tips week. I'm kind of enjoying it a lot. Making some sort of claimed base, because you can't live in an unclaimed base forever. It'll get raided, trust me. But hopefully, if you're watching this during when the map has reset and these tips are working, great. If they're not, then I'm sorry, but Factions is a very random game mode. And as this series goes on, we'll get more and more in-depth. Soon enough, once we get through all, like, the making the base parts, we'll probably get into some very random episodes where it'll just be a load of random general faction tips, like searching for raid tips. I could probably just all the ones that I missed pretty much. I'll probably sum it all into one video. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I shall see you guys tomorrow for the next faction tips. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.